What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders out there. It is the 11th day of December. Here we are, sitting at about $562 with 9 hours and 33 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are. Yeah, finding support right atop of prior resistance. It's perfect. It's literally perfect. We are getting lower lows each day, but that's okay, right? In this range, we've actually even talked about potentially going below 550, but likely we don't, right? I'm actually quite surprised that we did go below this low at all. Yesterday, in my most recent video, we were talking about how we could even go below this low and still come back up victorious from there, finding support at other areas. I wasn't calling for us to go below this low, but we did mention it as something that was okay, even borderline appropriate for an overall retracement. So this way we see this lower low and we're not panicking like, oh my God, we're breaking out to the downside. No, that's probably not going to happen. We are probably from here going to rally to the upside, or maybe we continue to consolidate, whatever. Maybe we put in lower lows and then we break out. However it works out, right? Here, this was a lower low, and yet we rallied right after that. You know what I mean? So if anything, lower lows are a good sign, at least at the moment, right? Look at that, lower low right there, boom, and then we rallied. That's just how it's been the past couple of times. We look at this on the 1 hour time frame here. The RSI is rejecting the 50. You are finding resistance here at prior support back there. Stochastics are very volatile. RSI, or it's the MACD, it's got some bullish posturing about it, I suppose. It looks very mechanical, right? It's almost like all these drives of bearish divergence or of bearish momentum look the same. I'm not getting any vibes from this level right now that we are ready to move up, but we might. Okay, if we start closing 1 hour time frames above, let's say like 565, okay, then we're probably moving up higher. This is a relative low, and we might even take out this high. But it's completely possible that what we're doing here is either we're moving up to a lower high and then to go lower, or even from here, we just break down. It's completely possible. So just be open-minded to that. I think it probably, it's dependent on what Bitcoin does. The stock market opens up in about 2 minutes. I'm curious to see what happens there. By the way, anybody holding hype, I have a theory that we're going to see prices below $20 by the end of this year. Just in case anybody's curious about hype. Let's see. Let's see, 6,900 points. Is that what it is? It's not dollars, right? I don't know. I guess it's 6,800. 6,900 would be a little bit more. You got to be very specific with the S&P. It's going to open up here in about 1 minute. That's why I'm looking at this here. So I'm kind of curious to see which way we open. We might open down but close the day up. That's kind of what I'm assuming, but we'll see. Anyways, Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin should see a little bit of volatility in response to that. Typically, if the stock market opens up green, we'll move up with it. If it opens up down, we'll probably move down with it. So again, just keep in mind, by the time you watch this video, we could even be below this low here. And it's still fine if we are. I want to look at this. Let's just see if we're taking this relative low to relative high here. Relative low to relative high. Broke below the 382, found resistance at the 236, support at the 0.5, resistance at the 382 area, prior support becomes resistance, golden ratio. Maybe the most appropriate call is that we go to $544 to $537. That might be the most appropriate call. I'm not necessarily counting on that. Bitcoin Cash, as we said yesterday, has this funny way of finding support between the 0.5 and the 618. So you've kind of already hit that area. This is an area that Bitcoin Cash likes to find support, but it's such an insignificant time frame that maybe it doesn't matter as much. Maybe we rely on something that's a little bit more significant, like the golden ratio on this insignificant time frame. But something between here or 537, I doubt that we go below 537. I'm pretty sure I said the same thing yesterday. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Might be done moving down. Might be done. Let's see. The stochastics give me a little bit of hope that we move up from here. The RSI makes me think we move lower, and the MACD makes me think we move lower as well. 4 hour time frame, the RSI makes me think we have lower to go as well. Ooh, but you see, normally I would think that. Normally I would think that because we have lower lows and lower highs, and typically these kind of trends don't end until you're in the oversold zone. We're not in the oversold zone yet. That means we have to go lower. That means the price will go lower. However, we have been finding support right here consistently since the 14th of November, right here. And even beforehand, we found support here, resistance right here, support right there, support right there. You know, support, resistance all up in this area. So normally I would have no problem. Like there'd be, and I almost said it before I even looked at this here. I was almost about to say, oh yeah, but we look like we're going down. The RSI makes me bearish, but skeptically bearish. I don't even know if I should be bearish with this look right here. I don't know, because look at this, right? Here you touched, you came up to the 50, came back down, touched, and then you rallied to the overbought zone. Here you touched, rallied to the overbought zone. Here you touched, came up, touched again, and then you rallied. Touched again. Do we rally now? I don't know. The stock market's open, S&P's open. Did we open? We opened up down, opened up to the downside. MACD crossing through the 0 is typically not good either, but look at where you found support here. Here, you're right in between those areas now. I mean, you're right here with your oscillator. It's not as reliable, but still. Man, if you're bearish here, if we're going lower than this low, you're barely going lower. Like you're so close to the low. I don't have enough to convince myself that we're ready to move up higher, but I'm very open to it. I'm having, in case you can't tell, I'm having immense difficulty calling for prices below this low, even with the indicators kind of suggesting that. I'm having immense difficulty. It's clearly what I'd like to say is that this is a great time to buy. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. This is a clearly great buy zone. However, with that being said, we could go lower. It's important to be open-minded to that and to be able to sit through that pain. You know, that's okay. Well, whatever pain is coming our way, if any at all, will be very short-lived compared to the upside. The upside that we have, it's not even, it makes this seem negligible entirely. So I don't care if we go a little bit lower. I'm in buy only mode with Bitcoin Cash right now. If anybody asks me, should I wait to buy or should I buy now? I'd be like, why haven't you bought it already? Buy now. What are you doing asking me? Buy. Get in right now. We're about to lift off. The 4 hour makes me a little skeptical that we could go lower, but I'm not completely convinced. Daily time frame, the RSI gives me a lot of hope. Right? Flat top, higher lows, building up to this point. I didn't draw the straightest line, but you can see what I'm going for. That pressure's building here. We're kind of at this low point, actually. It would make sense to bounce here based off the daily RSI. Stochastics, same thing, bullish last time that we were here. This is actually a good area to bounce. That's where we saw our move originate from. And the MACD, as far as the daily time frame is concerned, is actually at a really good point to bounce. Whenever you're trending, you like these little moments where you either get a false cross here or touch points like can I find an example like this here, like a touch point. This is actually really good posturing. We had that same thing happen here the last time we moved up. Whenever we made this move here, that was that last little touch point. So I mean, the daily time frames are saying that we're ready to move higher. The shorter time frames haven't convinced me completely yet. I would think, you know, with 9 hours and 25 minutes left in this day, between today and tomorrow, we should start to resume moving higher. So if today at this low of 552 is not the low, we should find it between the end of today or the end of tomorrow, between now and then, okay? The low, wherever the low is. And then we should be moving up from there. Just because we find the low, let's say this is the low, doesn't mean we move up like this immediately. Maybe it does, but we could consolidate still and then next week pump. You know what I mean? When we do pump, because of how bullish the daily time frame is and how bullish the weekly time frame is as well, when we do pump, the expectation here is that we will immediately rally to prices that are around $960 to $1,400, something around there. And then once we break above $1,400, we should be rapidly approaching prices that are around like $2,700 to even above $5,000, perhaps even above $6,000, something like that. Inevitably, I think that this is where we're going to go. I truly, as crazy as it sounds, because it's the 11th of December right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we were worth $2,000 or more by the end of this year. I wouldn't be surprised. Like it could happen that fast. Yes, it's the 11th now. We are at 562. Bitcoin Cash could be above $2,000 by the end of this year. By the end of 2025, absolutely it could. But I'm more thinking we'll be somewhere around this $1,000 to $1,400 zone, probably by the end of the year. These targets and beyond will likely be reserved for January, maybe even February. And that's all I got. That's the thought there. Overall, this is the target. Overall, this kind of area is exactly what we're looking for. Something at a minimum above about 2,800, 2,700 there, potentially at a maximum of 6,700. I'm most convinced that we'll go somewhere around 4K. I've got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.